I guess we'll have to see in June. We really won't know bullshit until it gets launched in June. That's it. This whole thing has been useless. That's the entire video. That's all that matters. What is this? 43 minutes into the live. Got it. Like I said when we were playing Avowed, if it is real, it's not being made by TSC, I don't think. And it's not like a remaster or a remake in the way that like Ultimate Edition was. Ultimate Edition was like a full recreation of the game, like from top down. If they do a like Gears collection, it's not going to have Judgment, which would suck. But I can understand why they would omit a game like that. And it's just going to be like a high-res port, which... I said this from playing Avowed. If it comes to PlayStation and it comes to PC, I could kind of see the reasoning or like the want for it to get made, right? Like having, even though it's not a full remake, having the high-res thing for PC or PlayStation anniversary. Yeah, a full remaster of Gears 2 would be a lot more, I feel, worth it in the long run rather than just like a high-res port as an excuse to put it on like PC and Steam and PlayStation if they do go that route. I think there are rumors about the Master Chief Collection going over to PlayStation, which seems to be the direction Xbox is heading anyways, which I don't have an issue with. I think console wars are bullshit, but I don't know. I still think E-Day is probably going to come this year. By the end of this year, once we find out when GTA is actually coming out, the fact that they haven't announced when GTA 6 is coming out yet is still kind of blowing my mind. I think they're like really happily holding the entire gaming industry under their thumb, but like I know a lot of devs are just not releasing their release date until GTA 6 comes out, or we know when GTA 6 is coming out so they can avoid it. So I feel like that, and people either not understanding that or not like picking up on that has led them to believe that because we don't have a Gears E-Day announcement for this year that it'll probably be coming in 2026. I guess they could also have just told us that it was 2025 at some point and also not told us the date. But meh, who's playing Gears of War 2 for the multiplayer? Even the people that like played it back in 2008 and really loved the game, I feel like they're not there for the multiplayer. If they did it and they had Ultimate Edition, Gears 2, and Gears 3, I don't know why they wouldn't just keep Ultimate Edition's multiplayer, which was already fully built and like a part of the game, or do Gears of War 3's, which has a still living player base. Like Gears 2, you can find matches. It's just very, very rare. Gears 3, you can still find matches pretty decently. Maybe not like Horde or Beast or specific game modes, but if you just go and jump into Team Deathmatch, you will find matches. Or King of the Hill. It just rubs me the wrong way. Let's look at this.
Hey guys, Shadowz here. Welcome back to another Gears of War video. Today we're going to be discussing the Gears collection with these new insane Gaming Insider rumors, including, wait, no multiplayer? The Gears of War franchise has always been one of the most diverse experiences in gaming, not only because of specifically being a third-person cover-based shooter and perfecting it to the point of an active reload, but more so based on the fact that the Gears of War video game product has always included several major pillars of the franchise.
See, he has a very Wikipedia way of speaking that really, like, he's not the cold, dark corner of the internet, okay? Shadowz is very, very, like, internet friendly, you know? He's just like, he's like robotic. Like the way he talks about the game sounds like he's writing a dissertation to give to an executive board and not like he's a gamer talking to gamers. You know what I mean? Like, you will never hear me say Gears of War is the most fantastic third-person gaming product. What? That's like it's just I'm not a hater, but it's going to sound like I'm hating. He's just like, he's talked like AI. It feels like maybe. I'm not saying he is, because he's sounded like this for a decade. And I don't think he needs AI to make him sound more AI. Using ChatGPT might actually make him sound more human. But like,
Well, after the Coalition finally made the Gears of War E-Day announcement last year that things would settle down, but it looks to be the polar complete opposite, as all of a sudden there have just been some all-new Gaming Insider rumors that are just insane and will definitely upset some Gears of War fans. A month ago, I reported on the Spanish Xbox gaming YouTuber Extras who did discuss the Gears of War collection.
See, but like a Gears of War YouTuber saying that there's going to be a collection. Gears of War YouTubers and Gears of War Redditors have been saying that there's going to be a collection for a decade now. That is not... that doesn't say anything. Told him to... Hold on. So, let's think about this a little bit. The source told him it's scheduled for 2026, possibly moving to 2025. The collection is currently scheduled for 2025. If they are making a Gears of War collection and Gears of War E-Day, they are not gonna come out at the same time. They will at least put like 6 months of time in between it. Like if you want to say one's coming out 2025, the next is coming 2026, that I can believe. That's like Gears 5 and Gears Tactics, right? There's that whole year of time, that gap year between them. They're not going to have both of them in 2025. We're already in March. The only way they would have both of them in 2025 is if one was quarter 1 or quarter 4, I guess, at the very beginning of the year, and the other one was at the quarter 4 2025, actually, and not quarter 4 2024. The only way we would have heard about it. Like, if it was coming before E-Day, I feel like they would have shown us that instead of E-Day. I just feel like there's not enough time. Like, these companies, especially Xbox, especially Gears of War, like, they don't do, like, surprise launches or anything like that. I don't think that anything on the top of my head that they've done that is, like, a surprise launch, you know? So it's just, like, the idea that in the last... I mean, yes, granted, it's been 5 going on 6 years. It's been 6 going on 7 years since we've had Gears 5. That is enough time to remake Gears 2 and Gears 3 in Unreal Engine 5. Maybe even go back and redo Gears 1 if they really, really wanted to. They turned over Ultimate Edition in like a year and a half. Because obviously most of it's there. You're just like making it look nicer. Not that it's easy, but you know. When the script and everything is already planned out for you, it makes a lot of the pre-production stuff easier to go with. But the logic behind why this would come, outside of being like, well, maybe. And it's like, you could say maybe all day long, you know. Maybe. It's been 3 years since God of War Ragnarok. Maybe next year we're going to get God of War 7, you know. Or 6. What are we on? 6. We're going to get God of War 6 next year, guys. It's been enough time. But that's just not how these projects and stuff work. It normally doesn't, especially for a studio like TC that has been very, very bumpy for the last 5-ish years.
It will finally be confirmed and announced at the upcoming Xbox Game Showcase in June for a summer 2025 release date, likely being around August time. This includes, as mentioned previously...
Again, like, they don't do, like, surprise drops. I don't see them revealing it in June and then coming out in August or September, even like October. I feel like if they were going to do that, they would reveal it like around this time. You know, they would have revealed it back in February or January. It's already almost April, you know? I just don't see that being a thing. I mean, they did, what was it? Ninja Shadow Gaiden Black or something got like kind of, like we knew it was happening, and then it got a trailer and then like got dropped at the same time, like a month ago or something. Maybe. But if that's the case, I think it'll be almost guaranteed that it's not like a full Unreal Engine 5 remake, and it's just a, you know, slapped together remaster. Which, again, if it is just an upscale, if you're a hardcore Gears of War fan, you've played every single game, you don't care. Because if it's just a high-res upscale, you already have that on Xbox. And if you're a hardcore Gears fan who has played all the games and still plays them to this day, you're playing it on an Xbox, which has the high-res upscale. So there's no point. Like, for me, as a Gears of War fan, a high-res upscale of Gears 2, Gears 3, I do not need. I don't give two shits about. Fans of Gears in that way, like, the only way I see it being a thing is if you're moving it to Gears 2 at an upscaling graphic. That's what I'm saying. It's like if you're playing on the Xbox Series consoles, Series S, Series, their fucking naming convention is stupid. The X Series, Excelsior, Excelsior would be a much better name than Xbox Series S or X. Xbox Excelsior. Can you imagine? Why is Xbox so shit at branding? Dude, multi-million-dollar company. Worst branding I've ever fucking seen. But aside from that, the only reason you would have to do something like this, because I don't think it's going to be a full remake, would be to release it on other platforms, like PlayStation, like Steam and stuff. And in that case, I can kind of see it. But that's like something that's being like, that's like a project you give to some side studio who's not doing anything. That's not something that TC is going to do, you know? It's not going to get any support. It's not going to have servers or anything like that. It's going to be like, here, play the campaign. And then E-Day comes out, and then people want to play E-Day. I could see that. Maybe. We'll have to see if the Master Chief Collection comes to PlayStation. Because I think if that goes to PlayStation, that will convince me that they would do the same thing with Gears. But, like, they already have the Master Chief Collection finished. They would just have to, I guess, set up different servers for it or set up crossplay or anything like that, and move that over to PlayStation. But I feel like that would happen first before we get a Gears of War collection. But I guess we'll see in June.
Obviously, a multi-platform release day one on the Xbox Series X and S consoles, PC and PS5, with maybe even a Nintendo Switch 2 release later down the line. He also did mention that Gears of War E-Day is targeting next year in 2026, as I'm expecting, with the slim chance to slip into the end of 2025. Extra's track record has been on fire lately, with leaking both the Forza...
Like, I don't know anything about the leaker. You could say that he was right for those two, but is he making like 50 assumptions a day? And it's those two happen to be right? Or are those the only two assumptions he made in the last year and they were both correct? I don't know the credibility of the leaker.
Coalition Studios' full focus and attention be on anyway. At this point, I would wait on hitting the active reload and firing away your Lancer assault rifle.
Dude, that's that's what I mean. He sounds... I've been waiting to hit the active reload on my Lancer assault rifle. It's like he uses the specific vocabulary terms for everything. And it makes it sound really inauthentic. I'm ragging on Shadowz here. We're not talking about the... I'm not speculating, but like... I'm just being an asshole, but it's like... just say I've been waiting to get back into the game and chew up some grubs or something. Like how people talk. Been waiting to get in the game. Get my active reloads up. Play with my Lancer assault rifle. So you're telling me that, like, literally months after Rod Ferguson left the studio and they had to do all those rebuilds and they had to go support Redfall for being such a piece of shit that they started development on a remaster collection? Maybe it just feels like that's too tumultuous. Maybe, like, I could see it maybe happening when they were, like, without leadership. That they were, like, hey, we have this whole studio and they're kind of just not doing anything. Make remasters. I could see that partially. This is really just me at this point doubting Xbox's branding strategy, because Xbox is really fucking awful at branding and, like, building hype and that kind of thing. So it's like, I just don't think that they're pulling, like, some ultra, you know, double bluff to actually we secretly have a Gears of War remaster up our sleeve. I just don't think they're that consumer savvy, you know? They make their console the hardest fucking thing to pronounce in the universe. Then they do all this awful shit. Like, even though they're, like, technically more, like, consumer friendly than something like PlayStation or especially Nintendo, they're really bad at, like, catering to those consumers. So it's like, I don't know. I hate talking about shit like it's consumers and bullshit. Who's more terminally online, Shadowz or Synthetic Man? Synthetic Man is a Nazi. He's an incel Nazi. Synthetic Man is a million times more terminally online than Shadowz. Shadowz is just cringe. He's not a fucking Nazi, you know? He's not awful. There's nothing wrong about Shadowz. He's just cringe and he talks like a robot. There's nothing wrong with that. He's not like evil, you know? Synthetic Man watched the Fallout show, and the first thing that was weird to him was that there was an interracial marriage in the show. Synthetic Man is literally scum of the earth. Shadowz is just cringe. He's not terminally online. That's insane.
I'll say last year, after seeing Gears E-Day, I was ready to let go of the collection and say, you know what, it's not going to happen, especially if Gears E-Day comes out in 2025, because it felt as though if there were to be a collection, you would have to release it in 2024. Give it a nice year gap between E-Day's release. I also kind of had in the back of my mind at the time, maybe E-Day isn't a 2025 release, but then you had a report come from The Verge and Tom Warren saying that Gears of War E-Day is targeting 2025. And when you look at the marketing history of Gears of War, they do typically announce the game 1 year in advance of its release. So if they are doing that here, if they are copying that, it would mean Gears E-Day is a 2025 release. And I just think it would be a good way to introduce maybe new fans to the Gears of War franchise by giving you the Gears collection. This way you have some familiarity with Marcus and Dom, and you have some of that history of...
Okay, I get the logic of, like, we want to do Gears collection so you can get to Gears E-Day. I feel like it's easier to do the opposite. I feel like it's easier to do E-Day and then re-release Gears 1, 2, and 3 updated so it matches E-Day's presentation. Gears E-Day is a prequel. This is like the first time Marcus and Dom are being introduced to the Locust. Feel like the whole point of a prequel... Like, what's the point of making a prequel if you can't... If the prequel is spoilers for the... for the upcoming movies or whatever, you know? I guess it's not inherently true. But I feel like, again, in the same way I don't trust Xbox's marketing strategy, I don't trust Gears of War writers to be so savvy that E-Day is going to be this insane narrative revelation that will make it a must-play after Gears of War 3 type of game. Gears of War 3, guys, spoilers, Dom fucking dies. You don't get any more, like, final than that. It's not like E-Day is going to have anything brand spanking new. If anything, it will give us a proper introduction to characters like Ty and Marcus and Dom, so that when they show up, hopefully, so that when they show up in Gears 1, 2, and 3, they feel more like people that have personal connections and relationships, which currently they do not have.
Itself, there will be an official Gears Collection announcement in June at the Xbox Game Showcase, with a release date slated between June and September.
This I also don't like, because it's like, you're kind of lying to your audience. You know what I mean? It's like you're taking... I know you're like trying to drum up hype and stuff like that, and it's like the nature of the beast. Why do you have to make fake graphics? Like Gears of War Collection 2025. It's a rumor. Yeah. You don't have to like try and sell it to us as it's like some real thing that it's actually going to launch. When we don't have any confirmation that it exists, who's attached to it, whatever, you know.
So what better way to celebrate with a Gears of War Marcus Phoenix Trilogy Ultimate Collection? Matt goes into...
God, it's been a decade. Damn! It's been so long that the Coalition has had Gears of War longer than Epic had it. They put out, what? 3? Well, they put out 3 games and a spin-off. That's almost equal to Epic. Unfortunately, they were not received nearly as well. I thought Gears 4 was really fun. I think Gears 4 is my favorite. That might just be nostalgia talking. But damn, they've already had Gears of War longer than Epic did. That's kind of crazy to think about.
Further detail as seen in the following.
E-Day is coming in 2025. I want to talk about something else that's a little interesting, is that we have to look at something else that might be coming out in 2025. The word is as well, if you've worried about the right hook, worried about the left one, because apparently Gears of War Collection is also being slated for 2025.
Yeah, I don't see it coming 2025. I don't see them both launching quarter 3, quarter 4 2025.
Now I have one little tidbit of information about that Gears of War collection. The word is, you heard it here first, folks, no multiplayer in the Gears of War.
Didn't hear it from you first. Somebody else leaked it. I guess we'll have to see in June. We really won't know bullshit until it gets launched in June. That's it. This whole thing has been useless. That's the entire video. That's all that matters. What is this? 43 minutes into the live.